With around 2.7 million square kilometers, Argentina is the 8th largest country in the world and number 2 in South America behind Brazil. It is also the largest Spanish-speaking country. The presidential republic has around 47 million inhabitants, and its capital is Buenos Aires. Argentina is located in southern South America in the so-called Southern Cone. It borders Uruguay to the northeast, Brazil, Paraguay, and Bolivia to the north, and Chile to the west, with which it shares a border over 5,300 kilometers long. In the east, it is also bordered by the Atlantic Ocean, where the Falkland Islands, also called Malvinas, which are claimed by Argentina and belong to the United Kingdom, are also located. Argentina also claims part of Antarctica, as do Chile and several other countries. Western Argentina is dominated by the Andes, which stretch from north to south and reach heights of over 6,000 meters. The highest mountain in the country is the Aconcagua, at 6,961 meters, and thus also the highest elevation on the American double continent. The Sierra de Córdoba also reaches heights of over 2,000 meters. Otherwise, the northeast consists mainly of plains. The Gran Chaco, with its dry forest and thorn bush savannas, as well as the Pampa, a flat grassy landscape that is of great importance for agriculture. To the south is Patagonia, a barren landscape consisting mainly of high plateaus. Following this, Tierra del Fuego forms the southern end of South America, as Argentina's largest island, which it shares with Chile, is located south of the Strait of Magellan. The most important rivers are the Paraná River, where the so-called Iguazu Falls are located on the border with Brazil, and the Uruguay River, which both join to form the Rio de la Plata. The most important river in Patagonia is the Colorado River. The Laguna Mar Chiquita is the largest lake in the country, and the second largest on the continent after Lake Titicaca. Due to its size and location, Argentina has one of the most diverse climates in the world. Large parts of the east have a humid subtropical climate. Parts of the northwest have a subtropical highland climate with dry winters. Smaller parts of the north are in the transition zone to the tropical climate zone. A temperate climate is found mainly along the Atlantic coast of the province of Buenos Aires. Towards the west, there is a belt with a semi-arid, hot, and in the south, cold steppe climate, which forms the transition to the very dry desert climate types that are typical of Patagonia, for example. Along the Andes, there are some very small climatic regions, ranging from cold Mediterranean climates to continental climates and polar climates at higher altitudes. The difference between the regions with sufficient rainfall in the east and the dry regions in the west can be clearly seen on the satellite image. Argentina's largest city by far is Buenos Aires, with around 3.1 million inhabitants and around 16 million in the metropolitan area that extends into the surrounding province of Buenos Aires. It is the second largest metropolitan area in South America after Sao Paulo and is home to almost a third of Argentina's entire population. Other cities with over 1 million inhabitants are Córdoba, with around 1.3 million inhabitants, and Rosario, with just under 1.2 million. Other larger cities are Salta, San Miguel de Tucumán, Santa Fe, Mendoza, and Mar del Plata. Patagonia, on the other hand, is very sparsely populated. Argentina's current population is the result of large waves of immigration from Europe, particularly from Italy and Spain. The official language is Spanish, which is spoken by almost the entire population as their mother tongue. Around 600,000 people belong to over 30 indigenous peoples who speak around 15 different languages, including Toba, Wichí, Mapuche, Guarani, and Quechua. More than 2/3 of the population belong to the Roman Catholic Church. Just under 10% are Protestants. Smaller minorities include Jehovah's Witnesses, Muslims, followers of the Pachamama cult, and Jews. Argentina is the second largest economy in South America, after Brazil. The economy has been shaped by various major crises in the recent decades, and with a GDP per capita of around $13,600, it is now one of the emerging economies. Its most important trading partners are Brazil, China, and the USA. Export-oriented agriculture has traditionally been of great importance, and Argentina is the third largest producer of soybeans worldwide and the fourth largest beef producer. The country is also a major global producer of other products. Soybeans, wheat, maize, and millet are grown intensively in the Pampas. The Gran Chaco is dominated by tobacco, rice, citrus fruits, sugarcane, and cotton. The West, especially the province of Mendoza, is the center of wine growing. Argentina is the world's fifth largest producer. Apples and pears in particular are grown in Rio Negro. Last but not least, the country is the largest producer of yerba mate. The most important natural resources are crude oil and natural gas, which represent an important source of income. Lithium, silver, and boron are also worth mentioning. Important industries include food processing, automotive and mechanical engineering, metal processing, electrical engineering, chemicals, and pharmaceuticals. In terms of services, the banking and financial sector, whose most important center is Buenos Aires, retail, and tourism are particularly noteworthy. The most important tourist destination is the city of Buenos Aires, which is not only the political and financial, but also the cultural center of the country. Other important destinations are Salta, with its colonial architecture, and as a starting point for trips to the Andes region, the Iguazu waterfalls, the Sierra de Córdoba, Mar del Plata, and the Atlantic coast of Buenos Aires province for beach tourism, Bariloche, and the surrounding area for hiking and ski tourism, the Perito Moreno Glacier, and Ushuaia, which is considered the southernmost city in the world. The most important mode of transport is the road, but the highway network is limited, apart from a few urban sections to connections between the central cities. The once extensive rail network is now largely disused. Buenos Aires does, however, have a subway and a large network of suburban lines. The two most important airports in the country are located in the city. These are followed by Córdoba, Mendoza, and Bariloche. The country's ports are extremely important for the export of goods and include Buenos Aires, Santa Fe, Rosario, and Bahía Blanca. This concludes our brief overview of Argentina. Thanks for watching. Until next time.